What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael, and welcome to another episode of Conquest Overland. This weekend, we're up here in the North Cascades National Park, taking in some spectacular views. That is all thanks to Washington State Department of Transportation, or how we call it locally here, WashDOT. All thanks to them, because they were actually able to really early this year open up Highway 20, which gave us access to these parts of the national park, essentially. And just look at the views behind me. This is just incredible. So our itinerary this weekend is pretty much non-existent, and that's all because we're just out here to have a great time, see where the road takes us, and just relax. So it's still really early in the season, so a lot of the hiking trails are unfortunately closed, but with blue skies like this, why not still get out here and just soak it all up? So stay tuned and see where we go.
I'm walking, but all these thoughts are running. Yell and catch me if you can. And I'm wondering if I should chase behind or stop wondering and try to take a stand. Oh, and they keep asking where the hell I'm going, who I'll be for the rest of my life. Well, I don't know where time is gonna take me. No, I'm just trying to take my time. I'm dreaming.
With the rain being the primary factor, we decided to hold off on our sightseeing opportunities until later in the weekend. We did, however, take great interest in the Skagit River Hydroelectric Project, which is a common attraction for those traveling through the area. There are 3 major dams that make up this facility, of which include Gorge, Diablo, and Ross Dam. A couple fun facts to note is this hydroelectric plant accounts for nearly 20% of the electricity produced for the company Seattle City Lights, and is built on just 42 acres. With a little history and knowledge learned, we headed back to camp for some lunch. Unfortunately, the weather never let up, which in turn kept our plans to huddling under the awning in front of the fire. Though still, any day spent outdoors is a great day spent to me.
Stay, just wait. Oh, so tell me that it's gonna be alright. Oh, tell me that it's gonna be just fine. See, I don't know where time is gonna take me.
The following morning, we woke to the pleasant sound of the flowing river, which was right next to our campsite. This water flow was part of the Skagit River coming from Diablo Dam into the adjacent Gorge Lake. Needless to say, we were right in the middle of the action. Thankfully, the morning only held a few clouds, with forecasts showing blue skies later on and throughout the weekend. With that in mind, we got breakfast going, which consisted of tasteful sausage and egg sandwich made by our very own camp chef. Oh, and let's not forget our savory morning coffee. Charlie managed to find a perfect spot to take it all in. And who can blame him with views like that? With camp getting packed up, we made our way to the next destination up the road, one being a personal favorite of mine. Good morning, everybody. We are out here in the North Cascades National Park, just south of the Canadian border, for those of you who are not familiar with the location. But we are out here at Diablo Lake, and as you can see behind me, the views are incredible. Created by Seattle City Lights damming of the Skagit River in 1930, Diablo Lake is a man-made reservoir and a popular spot for kayakers and canoeists. Above the lake, several mountains tower in range of 7,000 to 8,000 feet. Diablo's turquoise waters are the product of glacier-ground rock silt, which is carried down from these mountains by streams. This rock flour reacts with light to give the lake its bluish-green hue. You'll want to make sure to bring your camera, as it is nearly impossible to not snap a few photos at this spectacular destination. As our journey must continue, we got back on the open road heading east to further explore what lies ahead. Talk about a snowplow that will get the job done. Check this thing out. So there's a reason why Highway 20 takes so long to open, because they need machinery like that to get some of these highways cleared. So pretty crazy stuff. As the higher we go, you can definitely see a lot more snowfall along the road. So this is kind of like going into the ultimate road trip, really. It's like every bend we go around, there's a new view and we're always pulling off. So that's probably going to be the theme for this entire weekend. So sometimes when the road ends, the path on foot begins.
There you go.
And that's exactly what we're doing right now. As you can see, we got our huge banks of snow, and we're just walking a little bit because I think this road actually takes us to a visitor center up here. So we're gonna walk a little bit in, see what we can find, and just take in the views. Because this will pretty much be our own hiking trail, if you will, because all the other ones are snowed in. So we'll see what we can find. Alright guys, so our fun little hike led us to this visitor center here, and it is incredible to see how much snowfall. I'm sure in the middle of winter there was a lot more, but as they've cleared some of these roads off, it's insane to see how much residual snow is still here. And if you can see behind me, that is the visitor center, totally buried. And as a kind of something else a little bit funny to see, that would be one of the restroom facilities, and good luck getting to that if you gotta go. That's a solid walkway blocked full of snow right there. So it's just beautiful up here though. My goodness, I personally haven't ventured past the Diablo Lake area, so we're on the other side of that, continuing on from Highway 20 going towards Winthrop. And again, just like everywhere we drive and every bend we turn, it seems like the views just keep getting better and better. So it's just incredible out here. So if you ever want to know what hiking or just following paths here in the North Cascades when they first opened, this is what it's like. They have pretty much snow all the way up to the railing, basically following all the way in. We won't go too far, but that is just incredible. So as you all can see behind me, winter is definitely showing through at this site. You can see all the snow that's just accumulated on this viewpoint. So it's definitely very early in the season still, but imagine just what this trail would be like in the summertime with nothing on it. If you are coming out here in the early season, just definitely make sure to wear the right footwear, because the trail is nothing but snow and it definitely gets a little slippery, but well worth it. Again, it's just, these views are just incredible. As I could spend easily all day here, the show must go on, so I think we've soaked up enough time here taking in the views. We're gonna hop back into the vehicles and take the road a little bit further and see what else is ready to be explored, but this was definitely the highlight for today. So we'll get heading out here, trek back across the snow-covered trail, and see what else we can find. After soaking up the jaw-dropping views of the Cascade Range, we continued east, heading toward the small town of Winthrop. Along our drive, it didn't take long to notice just how quickly we were losing elevation. What once was snow-capped peaks now became green forest to then rolling hills of the countryside. As a soon-to-be first-time visitor, I was anxious to witness what lied ahead in Winthrop. This town was officially incorporated on March 12, 1924, though today is well known for its American Old West design across all the buildings in the town.
Every girl, every time I turn around, I swear it's her. Second guess my every move. I hold my breath in case I run into you. Oh, I just can't look. I can't bear the thought of seeing you with someone new. Oh, I swear I'm almost over you, and sometimes I find I switch off and I start
Okay, so we made it to the little town here of Winthrop, which is pretty cute. This is actually my first time checking out this side of the state, at least in the top northern part. We refueled on gas, we got some more ice, we topped off the propane tank for our fire. Other than that, we're just probably gonna maybe venture in the town a little bit, see what kind of knickknacks and stores they got, maybe do some things out of the ordinary, and after that we'll find a campground for the night. So let's see where we go.
I will wait on your border until you will let me in. Hand on my head, chest on my chest, to the sound of voices and of drums. I will show you how the West was won. We left New York City with our windows down. We couldn't see the trees and it was too damn loud. I will stand on your border and I'll search through the clouds. Yeah, we left New York City with our windows down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sold my new car and bought a diamond ring.
So after we've enjoyed some refreshments, checked out the cool town here in Winthrop, we're going to be checking out some campgrounds here nearby, just inside of the national park. There's a few that we found on the map that look pretty promising. They might be closed just simply due to the amount of snowfall, but if there are a few out there, we'll check them out and go from there. So let's see what we can find. So in efforts to set up camp, we found this forest road just outside of the North Cascades National Park, kind of like borderlining the Okanagan National Forest area. The road was good for a while up to a certain point. As you can see behind me, there's a few patches of snow up there. It still shows that we got several more miles to go, and just given how early the season is, we probably don't want to risk sliding off this mountainside. So we're going to turn around. We'll definitely be back this summer though, but we'll turn around. We found a few spots closer down in elevation near a river. So we'll go down there, set up camp, and probably call it good for the night, as it is kind of getting closer to the sun going down. So we'll do that and get some dinner prepped and go from there. And when I say we'll be back this summer, I truly mean we will be back this summer, because the beautiful thing about the forest roads versus traditional campgrounds, you get views that are just unsurpassed in certain areas that you just can't get anywhere else. So check this out behind me. That is an incredible view that I would love to wake up to. Just, we have to be patient. It's still a little bit too early in the season, but we definitely will be back out here, because I want to wake up to a sunrise with that. Even though we decided to turn around due to the unknown of what lied ahead, we were still able to bear witness to the stunning views, though just in the opposite direction. One thing to note when scouting out unknown campsites is to always have multiple backup options. There is nothing worse than driving unfamiliar roads and unfamiliar conditions with daylight slowly fading. Thanks to our Gaia maps, I was able to pinpoint several backup options before our ascent, ready for the possibility of turning around. Though I will say, option 2 turned out to be quite the find as well.
Another day with the sunny sky, trying to light my way, but I'd rather be in the dark. I feel all the romance in the stars, surrounded by the universe with the moon and Mars. I feel it. Will you stay with me under the moonlight? We'll be magical as we dream. You won't know till you try. Under the moonlight, it will be.
All right, guys, so we found a campsite here right next to this river. I hope you can hear me, because it is definitely pretty loud, but I just want to say persistence yet again paid off. That other site, the road getting to it just seemed a little bit too sketchy. I know we probably could have done it, but it's definitely not worth the risk of sliding off that road. I mean, at some spots they were just really insane, but that and snow, no thanks, not worth it. So we found another site right next to this river. We're probably just 50 feet away here, and this is going to be perfect. I don't know if you're like me. I love hearing the sound of the white noise of the river. Just something about it just puts me to sleep every time. So this is going to be yet another fantastic night. But all in all, today was amazing. It was another great day in the books. I love exploring new places. You never know what you're going to find every time, but it's just the thrill of the event. The thrill of the adventure. So we're going to get dinner started. It's a little past 8 o'clock. I'm hungry, so we're going to get that all fired up and call it another good night. But just taking in the views here so far. It's gorgeous.
So tonight we're doing some cheeseburgers. We're gonna have some baked beans and a little salad and a beer, because thank goodness we are off that mountain. It was sketch. I wanted to be back down by the river so I could have a nice low area to cook my meal tonight. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have cheese with our cheeseburgers. We're gonna have beer with the cheeseburgers, because again, that was pretty sketchy.
Awaking from a perfect night's rest, our journey pointed us back east, retracing our steps through the scenic highway. During our drive back, the views provided inspiration of their own and gave thought to how truly thankful I am to live here in Washington. Many of our adventures have just scratched the surface as to what lies ahead, though I welcome you to join me here at Conquest Overland as we continue our pursuit of witnessing the Pacific Northwest landscape.
I feel